Good morning, everyone. So, gonna have a quick review of the S&P 500. I just want to reassure you guys that everything is still going exactly to plan, irrespective of what happened yesterday. So, the reasons that we are short the S&P 500: reduced liquidity, the central bank, the Federal Reserve, they are choking off liquidity by hiking and also by quantitative tightening. And in that environment, we have reduced liquidity, which is a drag on equities. As well as that, we've got a rising dollar, and the rising dollar is choking off growth in emerging markets, specifically from the Chinese and the renminbi. And that's due to the trade war, which probably intensified a little bit here this week. Even though there was articles coming out saying that it's dying down, it probably intensified a little bit because in the midst of that negotiation, the United States increased their tariff proposal. And so we were back at square one. Now this weekend I'm actually working on doing an Elliott Wave course, and I've got a little bit of a bad throat, so I hope that clears up before I start recording. But what I will be doing is teaching you guys all of these patterns. So hopefully after this weekend it'll be very clear to you what I'm seeing and how I'm playing this. So essentially what we've seen is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. That's impulsive. 5 waves down is an impulsive move. And from there we have what's called a flat correction. An A, a B, and a C. Irrespective of this making a new lower low, this is still a flat correction. And I've got a lot of confidence in that for the two reasons that I suggested a moment ago. Nothing has changed to cause this to rally. We still have a tight central bank. We still have a rising dollar, and we also still have that 5 impulsive wave down. So this shouldn't bother anyone. This is an ABC flat correction, and we've satisfied now a move into the 61.8% Fibonacci, which we didn't previously. So I suspect that we're pretty close to a top here. The question is, why did it rally, and what would cause this to roll over? So it was Apple's earnings, I believe. It was sentiment on Apple's earnings. So let's just break down Apple for a moment. Apple's a very important company to follow because it's now $1 trillion company, and it's got a massive weighting to the indexes. So Apple's market cap is $1,040 billion, absolutely massive. So if you divide that by 7 billion, every single person on the planet would need to pay Apple $148.57 to make up that market cap. The problem with that is 2 billion people on this planet earn less than $2 a day. $56 billion is what they make in revenue. Again, 2 billion people make $2 a day, and everybody on the planet would need to pay Apple $8 per year. So we are really stretched. In the conference call, Apple said they're going to increase service revenue by 9 billion. So 9 billion is less than 1% of market cap. And in the past 2 days since reporting, Apple has already added 90 billion in market cap, which is crazy. So Apple, after 2 days, is already priced to perfection in anticipation for an extra $9 billion added to their service revenue. So if you guys remember, I say all the time, markets are future discounting mechanisms. They discount the future. Apple came out and said that they're going to make an extra $9 billion in services going forward, and the market discounts that immediately. If Apple do not fulfill that and they don't make 9 billion, the market corrects immediately in a pretty aggressive way. And so I look at Apple and I think we're at the limits. I think this is all sentiment. And if you go back to the dot-com bubble, Cisco was the first company to hit the milestone of 500 billion, and everyone started to call for $1 trillion. And it was in that moment that Cisco was closer to the top than it was to the bottom. Markets typically die on good news, and from the first lesson you'll see that bull markets are born on extremely bad news. And so we're seeing fantastic news right now. Apple's now $1 trillion company, and people are saying that Apple needs to go up 30% to factor in a $9 billion growth in services. It defies maths. $300 billion. That would bring the total of $200 needed to be paid to Apple from every single person on this planet. If you actually look at iPhone sales growth, which I put into the group yesterday, I put it up on the forum, and what you'll see is they were growing aggressively up until 2015. iPhone sales dropped 15 or 16% 2015, and then last year and this year it's been less than 1% or around 1%. So what's happened between 2015 and now? The prices have jumped dramatically. We're now at $1,000. So iPhones are pretty much priced to perfection, and the revenue growth and the revenue beat has entirely come from increasing the price of an iPhone. But we're at price to perfection right now, so they can't really grow. So based on the iPhone trending sales, I would say $1,000 for an iPhone is the limit. They can't come out next year and say they've got the new iPhone 11 and it's going to be $1,200, because I think iPhone sales will plummet. I think it's priced to perfection, and in that scenario, that's not a growth revenue anymore, and that's why I think they're talking up the service side of the business. So we'll just have to see. But as I said, this Apple is as close to done as I've ever seen, and this is the last blow off phase for Apple. So what I would say is this here is the C wave, and we should roll over rather soon. It hit the 61.8% Fibonacci with perfection. From here we should be expecting 1.618 times the length of this wave 1, which will bring us down 2.83% from here, and that will complete off a wave 3. This trade is absolutely fine because our stop loss is brought to this prior high, right? So even if we're wrong on this trade and it breaks to a new high, it is what it is. We don't lose anything. I happen to believe the odds are still strongly stacked in our favor that this is going to roll over. And I think we should be patient. And as I always say, we get paid the most amount of money to do the least amount of work. So let the trade work out. Give it another little bit of time. Let's look for this to stall out here today and then drop into next week. So that's what we should be looking for, guys. So that's it for the S&P 500. Update comes out as normal this weekend. And so I've been communicating with John, the developer on the website. He's done some fantastic work. He's already done up a mock for the web page. It looks fantastic. I personally like it myself. What I'm trying to do is get him to embed an ATR calculator on the website. So get the Excel sheet and embed it onto the website, and so everyone can use the calculator from the website instead of constantly opening their Excel spreadsheet. So that was a great idea by Casey. Thanks for bringing that to my attention, and I've sent that over, so hopefully we can get that done as well. So the videos, it's going to be set up. You can comment on the videos underneath. It'll be fully compatible with phone. If we use YouTube, it will actually open up like a YouTube video on your phone into full screen. So for right now, that's what we're going to use, because Wix haven't got back about doing an unlimited hours. And if we can't get unlimited hours, there's going to be an issue with storage. So for right now, we'll be using the YouTube, but as I said, it'll be 100% compatible with phone, which will be excellent. So I'm pretty excited about that. It should move rather quickly now. I'm waiting for him to get back to me. I think he's just got to transfer it over to the actual original site, and we should be good to go. So I'm rather excited about that. So with that said, guys, have a wonderful Friday. Any questions, please do reach out. I'll be delighted to hear from you guys. And yeah, have a wonderful day, everyone.